KSL News at noon starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us with Tamara Vaifanua. I'm Dan Spindle. Spring training still about a month away, but we are talking major news in minor league baseball.
The Salt Lake Bees are leaving the ballpark neighborhood for the Daybreak area of South Jordan. News specialist Dan Rascon joining us now with what Mayor Mendenhall thinks of all this. This is a huge announcement, Dan.
A huge announcement, and it's a very devastating announcement for many people in this area out here. You know, it's called the ballpark neighborhood for a reason. This ballpark has been around here for nearly 30 years for these folks, and they really have enjoyed the baseball. Well, Larry H. Miller Group making the big announcement this morning. They're the ones that own the Bees, and they're announcing that they're going to be moving down to South Jordan in the Daybreak area. They're not giving the exact location or anything like that, but they're saying right now that they'll play out the next 2 seasons here, and then they will move down for 2025 season there in South Jordan. Well, Mayor Mendenhall holding a press conference this morning. She says she's been hearing rumors about this, but she just barely learned about this on Friday. She's announcing a big contest to take place, $30,000 in prizes. Who could design the next thing that will happen here?
My promise to the neighborhood is this site will not become an empty pit or a public safety risk. As I said, we have been waiting to pull the trigger on investment that is transformational for this neighborhood for 3 years. This decision hits go. We are ready, and we want to know your big ideas of what you want to see here next.
Yeah, if you want to learn more about how to be a part of that contest, go to ballparknext.com. That's where you'll find all the information on how to basically be a part of that. That's $30,000 in prizes there. So again, they'll play the next 2 seasons here at the ballpark, but then come the 2025 season, that's when they'll be moving over to South Jordan. Now, I spoke to the head of the ballpark community council out here. She's just devastated. As you can imagine, a lot of folks out here devastated. We'll have more on that coming up tonight on KSL-5 News at 5 and 6 o'clock. Also, South Jordan announcing they're holding a press conference at 2:30 this afternoon, so we're going to have their reaction too. Dan, Tamara, back to you.
Oh, it's interesting. These sports arenas, they kind of anchor a community, and you gather around it, you build around it. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens next for the ballpark neighborhood. Dan, thank you. This move, it means a lot for the team, of course, and for Salt Lake City.
It's Mike and Ashley.
All right, yeah, a lot to learn from this. Looking forward to that. Thank you, Danny. All right, another big story we are following this evening. Salt Lake Bees are on the move.
Yes, the baseball team is packing up and headed south. We have team coverage for you tonight. News specialist Jed Bowl live in Daybreak, where the team's new hive will be built later this year.
But we start things off with news specialist Dan Rascon on what this loss will mean for Salt Lake City. Dan?
Well, this is a huge announcement, obviously a big blow to Salt Lake City, but the mayor saying, hey, she's still ready to play ball right here at this location, hoping to bring something here that will be here 365 days of the year rather than just 70 days of the year. Now, the announcement was made just this morning by the Larry H. Miller Company, which owns a AAA club. The plan is to build a new stadium in South Jordan's Daybreak community for the 2025 season. The stadium will be privately funded. Salt Lake City Mayor Erin Mendenhall held a press conference this morning at the stadium. She says she got word of this on Friday, that it was happening officially after rumors that it's been going on now for years. She says as a baseball fan, she's sad, but as a mayor, she's very optimistic of what's to come. She says they now have a 13-acre prime real estate lot that they can do something amazing with. That's why she's announcing a $30,000 community design contest on what to do here.
My promise to the neighborhood is this site will not become an empty pit or a public safety risk. As I said, we have been waiting to pull the trigger on investment that is transformational for this neighborhood for 3 years. This decision hits go. We are ready, and we want to know your big ideas.
And to learn more about what to do there, go to ballparknext.com if you want to be part of that contest. For others, this is very devastating news to hear. Amy Hawkins is a chair of the Ballpark Community Council. She's just heartbroken. We also talked to businesses who were in shock and also concerned about them leaving. We'll hear more from them coming up on KSL at 6 o'clock. But the Bees right now, they'll be here for another couple of seasons. Then they'll head down to South Jordan for the 2025 season. I'm Dan Rascone in the ballpark neighborhood, live at 5.
All right, Dan, thank you. Well, while Salt Lake City is losing a minor league baseball,
She will get the benefits back.
Why would we be excited about the Bees leaving? We're the ballpark neighborhood. That is our name.
A major announcement as a Salt Lake staple announces it is packing up and moving. Details of the Bees buzzing to daybreak.
Having a baseball park.
Look ahead at the 7-day in just a minute.
All right, Kevin, thanks. A shocking and huge announcement today for Salt Lake City. The Salt Lake Bees are moving out of the ballpark neighborhood.
Yeah, they are planning to build a stadium in South Jordan. We do have team coverage and reaction to this news tonight. We're going to start things off with news specialist Dan Rascone. He's live in Salt Lake. And Dan, what's the timeline for this new stadium?
Yeah, Mike, according to the Bees, they're going to be here for a couple more seasons, and then they'll be heading down to South Jordan. Now, for the ballpark neighborhood here, this is a huge blow. This place here has been here as a staple for decades.
People love baseball.
By Palomaki.
It's the American sport.
The sights, the sounds, the atmosphere, soon to be a thing of the past as the Bees announce they are leaving Salt Lake City.
This hurts. This hurts us. Oh, this is our home.
Amy Hawkins is a chair for the Ballpark Community Council.
Why would we be excited about the Bees leaving? We're the ballpark neighborhood. That is our name. This stadium is the soundtrack to the neighborhood.
The Larry H. Miller Group, which owns the Bees, made the announcement this morning.
Welcome to Thirst. What can I get for you?
For business owners like Ethan Cisneros, it's a shocker. Not only does he have his Thirst business 1 block away from the stadium, but also has one inside the stadium.
It's a key part of downtown Salt Lake City, and it drives a ton of traffic to our store. It brings in that family crowd.
I am disappointed. I'm sad.
But Salt Lake City Mayor Erin Mendenhall also says she's excited and ready to play ball with what to do with this 13-acre lot.
My promise to the neighborhood is this. This site will not become an empty pit or a public safety risk.
The city is now starting a 60-day contest with $30,000 in prizes for designs and concepts of what should come next, something that would bring people here 365 days of the year instead of 70.
We have been waiting to pull the trigger on investment that is transformational for this neighborhood for 3 years. This decision hits go. We are ready, and we want to know your big ideas.
And if you want to enter that contest, you can go to ballparknext.com. So what will become of this stadium? Well, that's the big question right now, whether or not it'll be torn down or built into something else here. Mike and Deanie, back to you.
All right, a lot of possibilities, Dan. Thanks.
All right, Mayor Mendenhall is not the only city leader talking about this big move tonight. Still yet to be determined. Salt Lake City's mayor promising the ballpark neighborhood, the current site of the stadium, will not become an empty pit or a public safety risk. She's calling for ideas from the community on just how they can use the defunct 13-acre space to better the neighborhood. People who live there saying this decision, years in the making, still hurts.
Why would we be excited about the Bees leaving? We're the ballpark neighborhood. That is our name. This stadium is the soundtrack to the neighborhood.
On the other end of the valley, though, there's an entirely different feeling.